Most young athletes who are rising stars in their sport are only concerned with their performance. Hollan Doriga, on the other hand, is a sole provider for her parents and 3 younger siblings. At only 19 years old, in Papua New Guinea, Hollan Doriga already uses her burgeoning cricket career for financial support. So what do we know about her cricket background? What about her accomplishments? Let's find out. To begin, let's look at the 5-star performance at the T20 Pacific Cup. Doriga's first overseas tour with the PNG Lewis national women's cricket team was to play NSW country in Wodonga in April. It was also her first time flying. Doriga, a bowler, impressed with the bat, came perilously close to a maximum on her first ball. PNG needed 40 runs from the final over the match when Doriga came in to win. She finished with 4, 6, 6, and 4. Doriga's dynamism impressed PNG Lewis's head coach Keith Hempenstall, who had never seen her play competitively. She made the game appear much closer than it was, Hempenstall explained. She came across as very aggressive. That is her attitude. There is no scenario in which she's not at ease batting. Doriga's next appearance was in September at the World Cup qualifier in Abu Dhabi, where she made her official international cricket debut against Zimbabwe. Doriga's breakthrough came a month later in Vanuatu at the T20 Pacific Cup. PNG won the Pacific Cup, but Doriga stunned everyone by taking 5 wickets in just 10 balls against Fiji in their first tournament match, earning her the Player of the Match award. She has the X factor. She is without a doubt our most promising newcomer, Hempenstall explained. Moving on, Doriga, the Diamond of South Perth. Doriga is one of 7 PNG players selected to play in Australia this summer. The players are assigned to high-performance squads and state-based premier cricket competitions throughout the Pacific Aus Sports program of the Australian government. Doriga is currently in Western Australia with her PNG Lewis teammate Sabona Jimmy. Chris Andrews, head coach of the South Perth Cricket Club's women's program, had no idea what he was in for when he learned he would be getting 2 PNG players for several weeks. Cricket in the Pacific nations isn't well documented, Andrews said, referring to Western Australia. I had no idea what to expect, but when I saw Hollan in action, I thought to myself, far out, this is something special. I was ecstatic. Doriga, according to Andrews, had settled in well and was a good fit for the South Perth team. There's something special about her. She's a laid-back person with a special talent for cricket, he stated. She's a lightning-fast bowler in the women's division and has a lot of energy on the pitch. She makes batters nervous about the type of ball they're going to get, according to Andrews. Following that, the only cricket village in PNG. Doriga lives in PNG's cult cricket village of Hanuabada, 4,080 kilometers from the affluent suburbs of South Perth. Hanuabada, or HB to the locals, is PNG's only place where you can grow up playing cricket. Cricket as a female sport is rarely questioned in Hanuabada. It is a game that both girls and boys enjoy. Her aunts inspired Doriga. When I was young, I'd go to the cricket grounds with my family to watch them play, and I knew in my heart that when I grew up, I could play cricket like them and even become a professional, Doriga explained. Doriga has 2 older brothers, aged 16 and 12, and a 1-year-old sister. When she's on tour, she worries about her family. My mother and father, on the other hand, tell me not to worry. We're fine, just think of yourself, they say. Hempenstall told ABC that it was culturally normal for the husbands of women's squad players not to work, but it was unusual for a young woman like Doriga to support her parents and younger siblings. Money and work are hard to come by where I come from, Doriga explained. Despite her family's financial reliance on her playing career, Doriga stated that she's content with herself. According to her coaches, she is known for her sense of humor and practical jokes. She's also the squad's resident DJ. When we're on tour, I play music in the locker room, in the bus, and wherever the girls are, she explained. Favorites include Alicia Keys, Michael Jackson, and Akon. Doriga is still several weeks away from returning home, but she knows her mother's fish and rice dinners will be waiting for. That'll be the first thing I eat when I return to PNG. Next up, Australia beat West Indies by 164 runs in its first test as Nathan Lyon takes 6 wickets. Lyon took 6 for 128 as the West Indies were dismissed for 333 before tea on the final day in Perth, chasing 498 for victory. It was Lyon's 21st Test 5-4. West Indies' top scorer was skipper Craig Brathwaite, 110 of 180 87-88, and a late order rally by Roston Chase, 55 off 85, and Elzari Joseph, 43 off 72, prevented a capitulation that looked likely after the tourists were reduced to 233-7 over 17 overs in the morning. Chase and Joseph put on an 82-run 8th wicket stand against an Australia bowling attack, missing skipper Pat Cummins due to a thigh injury. A part-time off-spinner, Travis Head, 2 of 25, eventually bowled Joseph. At the same time, Lyon removed Chase before bowling Kemar Roach, 0, with his next delivery to ensure Australia won the game. He retained the Frank Worrell Trophy ahead of Adelaide's second and final test beginning on Thursday. Earlier, West Indies lost the overnight pair Brathwaite and Kyle Mayers, 10, in the first hour of the day, scoring only 24 runs in 15 overs, with Lyon catching Mayers at slip before bowling Brathwaite. Brathwaite defied Australia for nearly 5 hours to score his 11th test century. Jason Holder, 3, struck a big drive and edged head to Steve Smith, who made an excellent tumbling catch at slip, while Josh Hazelwood dismissed Joshua De Silva, 12. The West Indies came back from 7 points down to win their first test against Australia since May of 2003. Moving on, Durham appoints Ryan Campbell as head coach. Mickey Arthur extends time at Derbyshire. Durham University has named Australian Ryan Campbell as their new head coach. The 50-year-old, who has been in charge of the Netherlands men's national team for 4 years, has signed a 3-year contract with the county. Upon accepting the role, Campbell stated, "I am overjoyed to be named Durham's head coach, and I can't wait to get started. I will be working with some of the best cricketers in England and a young squad full of talent, and I hope to bring an attacking, no-fear style of cricket to the club." James Franklin, who left the County Championship Division 2 side at the end of last season, will be replaced by Campbell. Meanwhile, Derbyshire's head of cricket, Mickey Arthur, has agreed to a 3-year contract extension. The appointment of the vastly experienced South African, who has coached his country as well as Australia, Pakistan, and Sri Lanka on the international stage, was viewed as a major coup, and he has now committed himself to the long haul. The 53-year-old, currently working in the Lanka Premier League with Galley, stated, "Since working with Eddie Barlow and Fred Swarbrook, Derbyshire has always been a county close to my heart, and my first season with the club has only strengthened that feeling. Supporters have made me feel welcome. We have a squad full of potential, and I'm looking forward to developing it and competing for silverware at the highest level of county cricket." Following that, Nat Siver and Heather Knight bring vital experience. Despite the focus on emerging talent, Cross is adamant that England will succeed with a mix of youth and experience, with Nat Siver and Captain Heather Knight remaining vital cogs in the machine. It felt like a young squad at the center of the summer. Freya Camp and Lauren Bell in the bowling attack was brilliant. They bring so much youth and energy, and they are brilliant. But I think that when you miss 2 senior players like that, you can sense it in the group, Cross said. It's always nice to have your big players back, and they were missed at the tail end of the summer. However, it has created opportunities for those young players to step in and take on the roles that Nat Siver, Heather Knight, and Catherine Brunt previously held. It's great now because it feels like there's a real sense of depth within that squad, that people can step up and do those roles if big players go down. So that's a really exciting prospect for us as a squad. The ODIs begin in Antigua on December 4th, 6th, and 9th, followed by the first T20 on December 11th, and the final 4 matches on December 14th, 17, 18, and 22 in Barbados. Finally, the England and Wales Cricket Board, ECB, is likely to be more skeptical. The ECB's reaction is expected to be cooler, with a new leadership team likely to be more skeptical of handing over control of the sport's latest money spinner. Former Surrey County Cricket Club chairman Richard Thompson was recently installed as the ECB chair, saying he wanted it to become the UK's most inclusive sport. He oversaw the appointment of Richard Gould, a former county colleague, as the governing body's new chief executive. Mr. Gould, a former Bristol City Football Club chief executive, was a vocal opponent of the 100 during his time at Surrey. Based at Surrey's home ground, the Oval Invincibles won the women's tournament in the 2022 edition of the 100-ball format, while the Trent Rockets won the men's. Well, that marks the end of our video for today, and we hope you enjoyed it. On your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.